I got flying ants. I got winged ants infesting the studio here.
Oh, dude.
And this cable's too long, and I'm all irritated, and this isn't going to be a very good show.
Ryan, you said this wasn't going to be a very good show, but what I would like to ask is, how is that different from any other
I know,
show?
right? It's going to be exactly the same as every single week. Welcome to the show, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum the Guitar, buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing, sometimes podcast.
It's always a podcast.
It is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The sometimes was for the playing.
Right.
Not the podcast.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm Joe Rogan.
Are you now?
No, I'm not.
I wish you wouldn't be.
This first ad was sent by Joey Scar. It's called
right.
1956 Refin. One of the pictures is just a white blank.
I don't know why.
Fascinating.
Oh, I don't know how that got in there.
About this listing, here's an original vintage 1956 Fender Stratocaster body. The neck had a 1255 neck, making this neck that's the date, around mid 1956. The date was removed during the refinish. The indications, nail holes, routing marks, dowels, contours are all visible. Has not been sanded and has the full thickness. That's what I'm talking about. All cavities are original with nothing deepened. Jeez.
Steve, you can't find a euphemism in everything.
Without the date, I can guarantee that this body is from between mid 1956 and 1959, which is just how I like them. I do know for sure.
What does it mean?
1956 early Alder body. It weighs 4.2 pounds. Feel free to ask questions. Is a 4.2 pound body light? I actually don't know.
I mean, I think it's just normal. Because once you put a neck and all the pickups and the bridge and all the hardware and it's all the screw, all those pickup screws and pickguard screws and everything like that, I mean, I bet this thing's going to be 8 pounds.
They want $5,000 for just this body.
Ooh, I'm about to sneeze.
Cool.
I think I got it. I did the cartoon thing, and I put my finger underneath my nose.
You poked an octopus in the butt.
I poked an octopus in the butt. Yeah, that's right. That's what I did, Steve. What are you talking about?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, they want $5,000 for a body that they can't show any markings. They're just asking us to take their word for it, and it's been refinned. Like this, if this is a 1956 body, this refin is a tragedy. Because what even, like, trans clear red, like
all proper Fender Stratocasters from the mid 50s are trans red. Ryan, obviously.
Why did they do this? If it is truly a 1956 body, if it's a 50s body, any year from the 50s, this is a guitar crime.
I mean, basically their claim is that the nail holes in the neck pocket are indicative of the era that it was built.
Man, that feels like such a stretch. Like, because there's all sorts of reproduction guitars out there. Like, who knows when this was refinned? This could have been refinned in the 70s, and it would have made a lot of sense. It would have been like, okay, yeah, I see why someone did that in the 70s, because it was a 20-year-old guitar then, and wasn't really worth as much, and not even nearly as much. And they wanted a trans red guitar because they thought it would look cool. And it's not like it's mangled. Like, if this is truly a vintage body, there is a market for it, obviously. Even with the refin that's not period correct, someone out there would look at this and be like, well, that's, the body's intact. It's got the wood under there. I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to soak it in stripper and take it down to raw wood and do rehabilitation on it. I don't know what kind of finish they'd want to do. I feel like just take it down to raw wood rather than this,
Would this originally, would this have originally been a sunburst? It would have to be, right? When did they start doing colors?
Did they only do sunbursts in the beginning?
I don't. Well, I probably not because
look at the inside of the jack. That's sunbursty.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of brown and gold in there.
When did the original Mary Kay come out? Like, was that early 60s or late 50s?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't memorize stats like that.
1950s Fender Strat.
And then looking at the trim cavity, there's some amber in there and some dark in there. I bet it was sunburst. If this even
well, they had black,
but the black covered up bad sunbursts. If this is truly what they claim it is, yeah, I bet it was a sunburst. There's visual clues in the cavities that make me think, yeah, this was a sunburst.
The contouring, I think, is also because it has this like super thin belly cut. That's like a 50s thing.
Right.
Oh, they had like
that could be an aftermarket modification. Like there's all sorts of people out there who fake these things.
They say that it wasn't sanded. So assuming that other parts of it,
the refin wasn't sanded. Before it was refinished, it was sanded. Okay. Someone took this down to raw wood before they refinished
1950s Strat colors, two-tone sunburst, Fiesta red, vintage white, and shoreline gold. And vintage white was actually originally would have been Olympic white,
right?
Apparently, and then
I bet based on the cues in the clues in the cavities, I'm betting sunburst. This was sunburst. Not that it even matters. The thing I want to ask is like $5,000. Is this, if it is true that this is a 57 or a 56 or whatever.
Semi-translucent blonde first came out, which is the Mary Kay, but was 1957.
Okay. Is this truly special wood? Is it really, truly that special that someone should pay $5,000 just for a body that's going to need a bunch of work to get it back to factory condition? Not even factory, but like desirable condition. It's not like this finish is awful. It's just like, it's not what I want to see on a vintage body.
Here's a really dumb fact in this article I'm reading.
This better be really stupid, Steve.
It's really funny. It's the kind of thing, actually, I saw an article that kind of made me think of this earlier, or that this makes me think of. Apparently, it's believed that all post-1958 pre-CBS Strats are actually three-tone sunbursts, but they all look like two-tone sunbursts because they had issues with the red dye.
So they faded?
The red dye faded, and if you take one of those and you take the pick guard off, they'll be red underneath the pick guard.
Right.
But otherwise, outside of the pick guard, they look like two-tone.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's according to this. But anyway, yeah, $5,000 is freaking nuts.
I don't even know what the normal price would be. I don't want to know. Steve's going to look it up, but I don't want to know. You know, if this was a complete guitar in close to stock condition, even if it had relicking, I'm sure it would go for tens of thousands of dollars, obviously. So maybe someone out there, like if someone looks at this and they know for sure, like, yeah, that's the thing, that's the body. I'm a highly skilled luthier and I can restore this thing. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Restore.
Luthier?
It might be worth it to someone who has a 50s neck laying around to snatch this for a couple grand. I hope not $5,000, but like, I kind of feel like the realm of like believable normalcy for me would be like low $3s.
There is a refinished 1957 Stratocaster on Reverb. How much do you think it is?
But it's a complete guitar.
Complete guitar.
Is it refinished to be
desert sand?
Okay, so it's an original. It's a color that would have made sense for the time.
Yeah.
So it's refurbished.
Yep.
I bet it's $30,000.
17,000.
I was way too high.
There's also
$17,000 for the full thing, and they started out wanting $6,500 for this, and it's down $1,500.
Yeah.
No, like I don't think you can chop it up and be like the body's worth $5,000, the neck's worth $5,000, and the pick guard and hardware is worth $5,000. This is a different price when it's all assembled. Like
yeah.
like when you sourced it all and made sure that the finishing was done to be era correct and things like that. Like that's a different price. Like I think I'm going to stand by my $3,000 mark on this.
I think three. Jeez, man.
Real professional.
This will all make a lot more sense. My current state of mind will make a lot more sense
when we get to what's new. Okay.
But yeah,
Steve's traveling a little light right now.
I think $3,000 is probably right for this. If it was like original color, or if it was even styled in an original color, I could see like 4.
If it was raw wood, I would believe like 38.
30, not 39. Though.
No. Are you kidding me, Steve? No way. Like we're spitballing. We have a lot of experience on this show, but we don't actually handle sales of these things. It's all instinct over here. You guys are free to disagree with us.
We don't
however many times you want.
We don't own a pawn shop called Pawn Stars. I do think this refinish looks really good. Whoever did this did a very good job.
No, the refin looks fine. Like if this was a refin on a 1980s American Standard, I would have been like, oh yeah, cool, whatever.
You say that now, but if it was a refin on a 1980s American Standard, it'd be like a 7-piece body, and maybe you'd change your mind.
Sure, but I it wouldn't make my heart hurt.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it wouldn't be upsetting to me. Where this is like, I wish I could be in the room with the guy who decided like, oh, let's take this vintage body and spray it trans red. Yeah. And it's not like this is an incredible piece of wood under here. It would have been more incredible to see the raw grain. Like you can see that there's cracks and stuff throughout. Like there's age that happened to this body, and they just candy coated over it. Like I hate it.
Jeez.
And if this was a sunburst at some point, it was probably a really cool relic.
Yeah.
Like it probably had a lot of really cool character going on. Like,
and you ruined it.
Like look at all the temperature checking throughout the cavities and stuff like that. Like this thing was probably a textural wet dream.
There is a special place in hell for you.
Not allowed in hell. It's too nice.
Yeah, you have to go to heaven.
Yeah. Suck it. You have to go to heaven now.
Oh, man. We're definitely going to get canceled.
No, I just think you just cease from existence. Like, that's the ultimate punishment. Like, you don't get to have consciousness anymore. Like, that's below hell.
Yeah. So. You know, Ryan, you know what's keeping this show from ceasing to exist?
Is it the Patreons?
It is the Patreons. So thank you, folks who support us over at Patreon. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, head on over to 60 Cycle Jesus. Head on over to
60 Cycle. It's not 60 Cycle Jesus.
Head on over to patreon.com/60 Cycle Humcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support this program, or for as little as whatever you want.
Yeah. Apparently there's a free option now.
Yeah.
Which really does nothing for us, but you can follow our posts that we don't make on Patreon. If you go follow us on Patreon for free.
I wonder, I think like maybe free would be a useful, if we were using Patreon to make, because they have merch, like they can make merch. So if we were using Patreon to make merch and we wanted to offer it to like the patrons first, and the patrons, maybe if you were like if we were like designing, like say we were making postcards by hand.
How long are we going to be exploring this hypothetical?
I'm just saying, like, there's probably a certain type of creator that the free tier works really well.
No, yeah,
for.
Probably.
We just aren't that.
No, Steve just told me tonight that there's people following us for free on there. I'm like, well, shoot, I should be publishing the videos there. I should be posting the videos every time that we launch a video so that people get notices. So I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you this week to Nick, who joined us at the $5 best friends level.
Thanks, Nick.
I will have some stickers. Are we sending, we want to send Hoop Jumper stickers?
Why not?
All right. Why not? He says, why not? Because I don't know. We only have 244 of them left. So why not? You're right.
The Patreons make hoop jumping possible, guys. So might as well give them some stickers.
So thank you.
You can always order more with Patreon money.
At the $1 level, if you listen to this show on podcast in audio format, I post it to Patreon for everyone who pays. So $1 level, $5 level, you get a custom private RSS link that will feed that into you. That's also a good way to find out that you no longer that your card got declined by Patreon, because you'll stop getting those episodes.
There you go.
But yeah, all kinds of stuff. And thanks everyone who supports us. You keep the metaphorical lights on
and the literal
because
lights.
you pay for, things like WordPress and TubeBuddy and a bunch of other things that Google Drive, which we use every week. And we're actually probably starting to push into
we need
the limits of
delete some stuff.
We're gonna have to delete some pictures probably.
Sometimes a terabyte ain't enough. Is it a terabyte?
I think it's 100 gigabytes.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So thanks to all of you, and also thank you to Chase Bliss.
Yes.
.com.
Chase Bliss
/
visual audio olfactory is when you can smell, right?
Yes.
But Chase Bliss senses. Chase Bliss for your senses .net/org.cz. Use Chase and Chase Bliss Audio for continuing to sponsor this nonsense week in and week out. We're friends with Joel. Joel's friends with us. We love each other. We give each other hugs when we see each other. And he wants to make sure that you guys have access to this amazing program. So send a huge thanks over to Chase Bliss by buying every single pedal that they make and telling them that we sent you.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. This next ad was sent by Snarky.
Yep. Snarky got one through.
Well,
he actually sent this twice. And the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know. And then I saw that he sent it again. I was like, okay, all right, I'll do it. You got me, Snarky.
Customized Strat believed to be an Ashton guitar. She plays nice. Okay. Low action neck. Both side cuts could do with better finished paint. And I also think that there are 2 small lines on the pocket side. I took photos, but I can't really tell. But if there are, they must be very small. It will be well packaged. Postage is for UK. Any other island, please contact me. Is North America an island?
It's surrounded by water, thanks to the Panama Canal. So
so
we're an island now.
We're a rock. We are an island.
Yes. And an island has no name.
Except an island never cries?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dies. I think it cries.
What we have here is a cheap guitar that's been modified in, I don't know, I think kind of a fun way. I kind of don't hate this. The more I look at it, the more I like it. And it's like, it's still a cheap guitar. Like they have it listed for $37.50 right now, down from $75. So like the price is right.
It has a built-in tuner?
It has a built-in tuner. That's how I was able to figure out the brand.
Not because in the ad it says that it's an Ashton?
I didn't read the ad. I did the work looking at the tuner, and then I heard you read the ad. I was like, oh, damn it.
Are you saying it's not a Yamaha?
It's not a Yamaha, even though the headstock says Yamaha. The pickguard appears to be made out of mostly duct tape, which is an interesting choice. Like someone was prototyping here with this cheap guitar, and I admire their efforts. They were doing something fun. They had a theme in mind and they went for it.
Their theme is, instead of British Racing green, this is like British Racing blue.
Well, that's the original color of the guitar, man.
No, but I'm saying I feel like the added appointments give it like a race car. Like it's got what's that center stripe? Is it just called racing stripe?
Sure. But also if those duct tape parts were like brushed aluminum instead, then it would totally have like either like an automotive or like a small aircraft sort of vibe.
In one of the pictures, when you said it was duct tape, I was kind of surprised because in one of the pictures it does look kind of like
metallic. Well, I think they did a really clean job with the duct tape. Like this screams hyper-focused high school project. Yeah. Like some high schooler like really put in the craft time to get this the way they wanted it.
I wouldn't say it looks like metal, but I would say it does look metallic.
Yes.
Like Okay, I was trying to make a joke, but I couldn't finish the joke. I only had the metal.
Were you trying to do a Metallica joke?
Yeah, I started a Metallica joke in my head, but I couldn't finish it. Sorry, everyone.
And the side cuts giving the violin kind of shape, you can tell they're sloppy and they're rough.
Yeah.
But they ain't that bad.
I think the photo's that bad, dude.
It's a potato cam.
Because like in this picture, you can clearly see that it is nowhere near smooth.
No, it's not like a factory finish at all. But like, I don't know. I feel like from the audience, I might think that, like, if someone was on stage and I was 20 feet away in the pit, you know,
knocking heads around,
just moshing, you know, just like what is it called? Like crowd killing,
skanking to the beat,
skanking so hard to the beat, crowd killing with my skanking down there in the pit. If I looked at it from 20 feet away, I would be like, what is that? I've never seen that cut of guitar before.
People would be looking at you and they would just be like, you are a legend.
Now I have a screen grab, of the guitar that I think it was originally, which is an Ashton AG 160. And the site I found this on has it in Australia for $129 dues.
Do we know what that is in America bucks?
Probably 14 hamburgers.
AUD to USD. Let's look this up real quick. 129 Australia bucks, dollary dues is 86 hamburgers.
So 86 yank bucks?
86 yanking your cranking bucks.
Well, the crank is the change, you know, so it's 86.
It's 86 and like 17 cents.
Yeah, it's 86 yanks and 17 cranks. Yeah.
This is what, like you said, like this is
the friggin' flying, the winged ants.
Decently enough done. I
need a spray.
I don't hate it.
It's $37, Steve.
No, $87.
No.
Oh no, it's
this mangled one is $37.50.
What store is this on?
Christmas discount shop. Snarky, where are you shopping? What is this?
This is probably fake.
You think the whole listing is fake?
Yeah.
Is Christmas discount shop not a real retailer?
I don't know. It sounds like a fake store.
It's not even Christmas time, Snarky. What are you doing over there?
Wait, Christmas discount shop reviews. Malware. The first review is from malwaretips.com.
Oh no, Snarky. I think he got hacked. Why would a fake site put a guitar listing like this?
Because originally that was why it was $75 marked down to $37. This is the same thing. There's actually a bunch of samashshop.com.
I know. That's where
people are like
all over Facebook.
Wait, I could get a Les Paul Standard from Sam Ash right now for $400.
There's no discount happening from Sam Ash that's over 10% right now. Like, and there's not going to be. They're going to clear out the rest of what's left to like a major reseller or something like that. It's all just going to be, it's going to get auctioned is what's going to happen. So all these Facebook ads that you see, and they do them for Sweetwater and Guitar Center and Amazon and all this stuff.
And Christmas discount shop.
And there's some lady standing there with a line of Gibson boxes like, the factory mistake. Those are always scams.
Yeah.
They will always be scams. They will never be real. Don't get scammed by those guys.
The trusted store that's selling this is 2024onlineshop.ru.
That means nothing to me.
I'm pretty sure that's the.
They just opened.
Pretty sure
2024 online shop.
I'm pretty sure that's the Russian. But you know what? This is a good ad. It's actually for sale.
It's not real.
The price
probably
is
a
fake,
scam.
But this is a good ad.
Don't try to buy this. But if this was real, you think this is AI? The whole thing's AI.
Oh my gosh. It's not AI.
This puts the art in artificial intelligence. I've been workshopping that joke.
Pretty good.
This is the first time it's made sense in my head. This is the first time I've said it and it felt like it made sense.
I got nothing else to say about this.
You want to do what's new?
It's time for what's new. So my what's new that we're talking about, you can grab that stuff. We'll do that too. My pen keeps dying.
Tell them about what you did today, Steve.
So I've had an interesting day because we had a blood drive at work. So I gave blood. Okay. Which is cool. Like, I think.
And then you drove?
If you have the opportunity to give a pint or two, I think I gave 2. I gave double the normal amount. That's all I know.
Jeez, Steve. Who are you trying to impress? You think you're going to get
karma?
You think you're going to get a raise or something?
So there's a whole thing where like they will take double the amount of red blood cells, but they'll pump everything else back into you. So
they just give you the clear back?
Yeah. No, literally they give you the clear plus saline back. So that's what I did. So afterwards
now you got pink blood.
I've got this Band-Aid on my finger where they do the iron test, and I go back to my computer and I'm a little lightheaded. Like, not so much, like I'm just like, I feel tired and like foggy.
Sure.
But I'm walking.
Yeah, you gave away half of your blood, dude.
So your
blood's clear now.
I go to my computer and I start pounding my password in. And I think I was pounding in a password from like 2 years ago.
You reset yourself.
And
you did a full factory reset.
Part of the issue is like, do you have a password on your computer?
Yeah.
Do you actually like I'm not telling you to say it, but like, do you know what your password is, or do you just mechanically like you sit down?
I know, and I know it in my head. But I definitely have passwords that are mechanical.
Mechanical, like know the motion, and you know if it feels right.
Right.
So that's where I'm at, and so I'm like fumbling with this thing, and I screw it up, and this is at like 11:45, and basically I get locked out. I go to IT. I'm like, hey, can anyone fix this? They're like, well, do you need it right? Or they're like, oh, well, like the guy who can fix this on PTO. Anyway, I didn't get my computer fixed today. So basically I could do no desk work today, which the majority of my job is a desk job at this point in my career. So I don't really know what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm still kind of in that fog. I'm like I've been like just real tired.
Guys, here's our shipping address. Send Steve your blood. He needs it.
Oh my gosh.
Just soak it up in a sponge and put it in a Ziploc bag and mail it to us.
You won't. Well, so the reference that I would make for people who are like coffee drinkers is if you drink a cup of coffee, I'm in that like you had too much coffee, but you had too much coffee and you're starting to come down with it. So you're like hyped, but also you're not like really sure where this energy is coming from or what to do with it. That's how I feel right now. It's kind of the same where like if you it's harder. But if you drink right, you get right to the buzz, and then right as you're coming off of it, where you're just tired, but you still got the buzz mentality. I was kind of living in that.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we got some mail here.
Cool story, dude.
Yeah, so that's why this episode and next episode might be a little weirder than usual for me.
It might be our best episodes ever.
Could be.
I might start like pressuring you to like
give blood every week.
Blood. Like if you can't give it away, like just get it out of your body, man.
I can't give blood for 4 months now.
Really? That's how much blood you gave? You gave 4 months worth of blood?
Excuse me. The normal comeback is like 8 weeks, and I think mine is.
Why did you go so hard, Steve?
Maybe it's 12 weeks. I don't know, but it's longer. Anyway,
could they just not like get it to stop? It was just like free flowing.
No,
like,
that's the way.
You had like a good laminar flow going, and you didn't want to interrupt it.
I don't think laminar flow is the wording you're looking for, but I could be wrong. It does kind of look like a siphon, because what happens is you're hooked up, right? And so your blood's, it's the normal blood's going out thing, and then like it goes for a few minutes, and then you got the ball and you're like squeezing it to like keep everything moving and whatever, so your body doesn't fall asleep. And then it starts flowing backwards. And so then for like a few minutes, there's like clear coming in, right? And they're like,
freak me out.
And they're like, oh yeah, we're pumping in like the saline and stuff now. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And so that's going for a while. And then all of a sudden it stops, and it immediately is just like, it's like a freaking watching a straw go, but it's just red, like the clear's going back into the machine and the red's just chasing it. It's like
freaky.
So it's like, it looks like a siphon, but it's your blood. And then afterwards they're like, hold this hold your thing here. So I'm holding the thing here, right? The gauze. And then after like 2 minutes, they're like, oh, you're probably done now. Let's take it off. I take it off. It's just like, and they're like, oh, put it back on, put it back on, put it back on. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then after like 2 more minutes, they're like, let's do that again. I do it again. Like, no, put it back on.
If Draculas were real, it wouldn't be scary. It would be a money-making opportunity for all of us. Yeah. Like getting that capitalism going on. Like feeding Draculas, like, hey Dracula, you want some blood? I'll sell you my blood.
Yeah.
And then we'd all get to find out who's got the tasty blood. Like I'd have Dracula over for like dinner parties and stuff. Like, don't worry, Dracula, I got some blood for you. And you're like, is it your blood? And I'm like, no, I got it from the store. And he'll be like, oh, I like your blood.
Yeah, and then he'd be like, can I pay you extra to eat like some pineapple before you give me your blood?
He's like, lay off the Italian food, buddy.
Yeah.
Stay away from the garlic.
When you're finally like done with it, but he's like addicted to your blood now. You just go on like an all habanero diet until he's like out. But the problem is you got like Amazon jungle. This is going in.
Hey man, I've seen Dusk to Dawn. There's Mexican Draculas out there.
I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen From Dusk to Dawn?
Should I see it?
Yeah, you should see From Dusk Till Dawn.
All right.
Yeah.
So all of this to say is,
and then tell me after you watch it.
Tomorrow is supposed to be my work from home, but I got to go into the office because my computer doesn't work.
Great. All right, let's open these things up. We got some shirts here, and we got a super secret pedal.
Sorry.
No, really? No.
So when they originally sent us the baseball tees, they sent them like in the wrong size, in the sizes that didn't.
I still wear it. Like I wear the big one all the time. It's a great like
now
nighttime shirt.
Custom one.
This is amazing. Woo! Are you kidding me? Oh man.
That's cool.
Thanks, guys. And then we've got this super secret pedal that no one else knows about, except for everyone knows about it now because both Emily's launched videos about it.
Please hold content until Thursday, May 30th. Ryan, I don't know.
It's too late. It's too late. This is like, for some reason, we committed to opening it on the podcast, which means we're doing it late. But I'm still gonna like make videos of this thing. I've probably already launched a video with this thing.
This is a Meowdulator pedal.
Here it is, guys. The cat pedal. It makes cat sounds. It goes meow, 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 meow.
Very cool.
Meow. And I am gonna make videos with it.
Right.
I'm not gonna do like a dedicated demo because it's already been done, guys. It's already been done. I'm gonna work it into other videos.
Look at this manual. It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Let me see this thing. I want to know everything there is to know about this pedal, but I'll find out later when I'm not recording a podcast. I'm stoked, guys. Thanks for the shirt. I'll wear the shirt in the next episode. I'm not going to get naked this time. Thanks for the pedal. I can't wait to incorporate this in some very serious gear videos.
Well, I had this.
They're going to do a second run, right?
They've already sold out the first and second runs.
Oh my gosh.
So is
there going to be a third, Steve?
I believe the third one, as of today, the third one had 20 units left. Here's my question, Ryan.
Yes, Steve.
After you make your videos, are you going to give this to me or do I need to buy my own?
I'll give it to you, Steve. Yeah, I'll let you have it. I'm going to make my videos and then you can have it.
But because these are being made in collaboration with Cusack Music, I think basically their ability to continue cranking them out as long as there is demand is...
You mean cranking them meowed?
Yes, Ryan. That's exactly what I meant.
Right. The Cusack has unlimited production ability. If they want to keep making them, they'll keep making them.
And it's probably not unlimited, but...
Well, there is like the heat death of the universe to consider.
All right. Thanks so much, Bees Music Shop.
Yes, absolutely. You want to tell us about the next sponsor, Steve?
There is no next sponsor. Are we doing that? We did that last week.
That's right. You're right. Okay, every other week, guys. But String Joy. Tune in next week for String Joy. I forgot.
I should just leave their link in every episode.
You should.
And we just won't always talk about it, but I'll just leave the link in.
Yeah, why not?
Click machine.
It's an affiliate link. We make money if people click it.
All right, Ryan, I got a question for you as we get into this topic.
Yeah.
what politician gives you wood?
Oh my gosh, Steve. That is not the topic.
That's what I have written down. Political wood.
I know, but it's not which politician, Steve.
Political wouldn't?
Political would or political wouldn't? That's the question. What are you doing to me? Stop it.
A few weeks ago.
The photo on my thing. Yeah, I did a poll on the community section of YouTube. And it's because everyone was going crazy over Paul Reed Smith and TONEWOOD. It seems like every 4 or 5 months he says something and everyone's like, oh, TONEWOOD debate's back on. And so all these channels were doing videos about it. And I didn't do a video. I saved it for this video.
You know, okay, one thing I will say, there have been a lot of videos or reactions to it. I don't know if it was a direct reaction. And I honestly, being up straight up, like I also haven't had time to watch it, but I appreciate the concept of Rhett Scholl's neckwood video.
Sure.
He just had a Strat with like a bunch of neckwoods, and that was, and I don't know, again, I don't know what the conclusion is, but I really like that idea. And I don't know why, like, I've never thought about, like, I've thought about Strat necks in the context of like how I feel like a rosewood neck versus a maple neck feels and how it changes the way that I play.
Yeah.
And how those changes translate to differences in tone. But it's never crossed my mind in all of this TONEWOOD debate that like the Stratocaster is the perfect platform because you have an easily swappable wood.
Easily swappable wood was my name.
Easily swappable wood is my King Missile cover band.
So anyways, we've been building up this whole topic now and haven't actually gotten to it. Thanks a lot, me and Steve. So I did a poll on the community section of YouTube, and I asked, because I was like looking at how heated people were getting in the conversation. I was like, this is almost political, the way people are choosing sides and getting all bent out of shape out of this. So I asked, don't take this too seriously, but which best describes you? Conservative, and I believe in TONEWOOD. Liberal, and I believe in TONEWOOD. Conservative, and I don't believe in TONEWOOD. Liberal, and I don't believe in TONEWOOD. And so we actually got 2,200 votes, 2,200 votes. And now we're going to discuss what the stats. We're going to discuss the numbers, the results. We're going to find out the political leanings of people that believe or don't believe in TONEWOOD.
Do you know how many comments there were?
Oh, there was a bunch. I didn't get a screen grab of it, but it was a very successful poll. Let me see if I can get back there to YouTube. Here it is right now. 123 thumbs up on it, 175 comments. Like, this was a very successful post 2 weeks ago. But what we have here is, we'll list the numbers. Conservatives who believe in TONEWOOD represent 14% of our voting audience. Liberals who believe in TONEWOOD represent 19% of our audience. Together,
33% of our audience believes in TONEWOOD.
Believes in TONEWOOD. An actual third, 33%, 1/3 of you believe in TONEWOOD, no matter your political leanings. Mm-hmm. The thing that I think is really interesting is that, okay, I'll finish the stats. Conservatives and I don't believe in TONEWOOD is 19%. So the same amount of liberals that believe in TONEWOOD match the conservatives that don't believe in TONEWOOD. And then the liberals that don't believe in TONEWOOD is the vast majority of you, 47%, almost a complete half of our audience are liberal and do not believe in TONEWOOD. Right. What does it mean? What does any of that mean? But what we did find out is that, so an even third, because 14 plus 19%, 33% of you are conservative. That means
66-ish.
67%?
Sure.
67% of you. Why couldn't we get a couple more liberals to have a nice even 69? 67% of you are liberal.
It's 66%. There's 1% that, I mean, it's a rounding. And I know there were a lot of comments from people who are like, I didn't vote because I'm a libertarian and I play acoustic guitar.
But come on, be honest. Like, you know which side you lean is. I didn't even list parties. I was like conservative or liberal. You know where you are. Very few people are dead smack in the middle and don't know what the heck. Like, you know what your base like ideals are and things like that.
I play a Parker and I'm voting for RFK Jr.
Right. I only play aluminum guitars.
Yeah. And I'm voting for Mouse.
What is it? Vermin Supreme?
Vermin Supreme. Is he still around?
But something to think about there though is conservatives. Watch yourselves in the comment section because I don't need you. We could lose.
Oh my God.
We could lose our third of our audience and be just fine.
I don't think that's true at all.
No, I think it is true.
I think you could lose 33% of your audience.
Yes, because right now, just going seasonally.
What if you went from tomorrow? You went like so. Okay, this episode drops.
Dude,
on,
we're in the summer slump.
No,
I've already
listen.
lost half our viewers in like a week.
This episode drops on a Monday. What if on Tuesday morning you woke up and you had 95,000 subscribers?
Fine. Then I get to get another plaque when I roll over 100 again.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Dude, like, honestly, like, views on individual videos is the only thing that actually matters.
I know.
Subscriber count doesn't matter.
I know.
Click through on videos is what matters. And we could lose all our subscribers as long as we still get click through on individual videos. It doesn't matter. I am not going to intentionally try to piss off all the conservatives and get them to stop watching.
I feel like you are.
The vast majority of you are fine and cool. Like, some of you are not. And you're and I have no problem pushing those people away. But when it comes to Tonewood, I legitimately don't care what you believe.
I will say, and you'd have to run statistics, and I have the software to do it, but I'm not going to do it. That conservative and I believe in Tonewood and conservative and I don't believe in Tonewood being only 5% apart is probably really close to being within the margin of error for it to, where you could just say it's the same number.
And it's similar in between the split and in between liberals.
Yeah.
Or that you could say that 19% and 14% are statistically the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I think that 14 and 19 are statistically the same. I think, so obviously the 47% of liberals that don't believe in Tonewood, I think would prove to be statistically significant, but the rest of it might all functionally be the same number.
Right.
I'm not someone, if you want to bust up and run Jump, if you're in the audience and you want to run Jump or some other analytical software, I'm not going to. I'm just saying that like eyeball test, I could see 14, 19, and 19 all being the same number.
To me, it feels like a pretty interesting even split, but if you compensated for the fact that only a third of our audience is conservative, I feel like that spread would be a little bit wider if you compensated for that. Like clearly like 47% is well beyond double 19% though. Right. Like it's not like one is 14 and one is 30%, but I feel like that 5% margin there, if we scaled it up, it would be more like an 8 or 9% margin. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It would be a greater difference. But it is very interesting to me that conservatives are split on the issue so dramatically, where liberals are actually, they seem to be leaning against Tonewood completely.
Which is interesting because Paul Reed Smith supports Tonewood, and we also know that he supports the Working Class Music YouTube channel, which, historically, or at least currently, maybe not historically, well, probably historically and certainly currently, liberals do also claim to support the working class. So,
but conservatives,
something to think about.
But conservatives also claim to support the working class.
That's true.
But they think that billionaires are the working class. Listen. if you don't have capital, you're not a capitalist. They take care of capitalists. Do you have capital? Then you're not a capitalist, and they don't care about you. There's my hot political take for the moment.
My only true capital is my labor.
That's not what they mean by capital. Your labor is somebody else's capital.
How much capital do you have to have
Welcome to 60 cycle commie?
How much capital do you have to have before you can be like, I have capital?
See, now I feel freedom to piss off the conservatives because I could lose all of you.
Jeez, man.
Here's what I want to know. Here's what I don't actually want to lose all of you. I find very many of you to be endearing
watch our channel
and lovely.
And are conservative.
I know, and I tease them to their faces too.
That's true. That's true.
I wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't being friendly with you guys. This is my way of teasing and ribbing. Here's what I want to know. I want to know what the split is on other channels. So other channels run the same poll. I want to know like what your percentages are, like, because this is just for our channel. This is just for subscribers of our channel. I bet that like if Phil McKnight polled his audience, I bet there would be way more conservatives. I bet the TONEWOOD divide would be very, very different.
No, I think the TONEWOOD divide would be, I think the TONEWOOD would be similar. I've been in a decent number of Phil Q&As when I'm like having a lazy Friday. I will jump in the Q&As and watch the live chat.
Okay. That's not completely indicative of anything though. Like I bet you there's channels, you know, like guitologists. Like, what do you think his audience is going to skew?
I think they don't believe in TONEWOOD.
Right.
I think they're going to be conservatives who do not believe in TONEWOOD.
Right. You think there's going to be a wide margin there? No. Like, I think it would change on every single channel that you polled.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would even say
we need to pull probably like
not just that I want to know, but
20 channels to get a good beat on this.
I think I got to know.
Are you going to go my
way? Is the poll going to go our way?
What do you guys think? Is the disbelief in TONEWOOD truly a liberal ideal? Why are conservatives so split on the issue? Why are they just infighting over the TONEWOOD debate? And why does it seem that so few people believe in TONEWOOD? Only a third of guitarists in our audience believe in TONEWOOD.
They've all been Jim Lilpilled.
Steve, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
If you had to just broad strokes, do you believe in TONEWOOD or not? Are you a TONEWOOD believer or a TONEWOOD disbeliever? We don't have to get into the politics.
Honestly, I think TONEWOOD has not been disproven to me.
It's hard to disprove.
I don't think it's necessarily a big thing. Like I don't look at guitars and be like, oh, this guitar's basswood. It's gonna sound like dick. But
you could have said ass.
I know.
Asswood. Basswood, more like asswood.
But I don't think it
is kind of funnier to say more like sounds like dick.
I don't feel like, you know, okay, I watched the first Jim Lil video that
Steve,
went big.
You just got to go yes or no on this. It's black or white.
I'm going to say that I am TONEWOOD agnostic at this point.
Steve.
Okay, Ryan, I probably, when it comes down to it, I probably believe in TONEWOOD. Maybe it's not a big belief, but I think I believe in TONEWOOD.
Without being able to communicate the nuance of what I think and I feel and I believe.
No, Ryan, this is yes or no question.
I know, but I'm about to say that I think I might be a TONEWOOD believer. Well, like there's a nuanced conversation to be had there. I'm not going to be someone who's like, oh yeah, I can hear that's rosewood and blah, blah, blah. Or I can tell that that's mahogany instead of ash or whatever. No, I can't. But there's nuance to my thoughts, and it's not cut and dry. Like I think it's more likely that wood changes things in a guitar than it is that it changes nothing.
Here's I think this might be my parting thought. Are we ready for parting thoughts?
I'm ready to party. Party thoughts.
Party thoughts. Here's my party thought. When Paul Reed Smith came out and made this statement, a lot of people said, this man is old. This man has hold on. This man is old. He's, from another generation. He's got, he's been drinking his own Kool-Aid. He's got his head up. He
came from a different time.
He's got his head up his own ass. All these different things. I've heard a lot of negativity about this.
Sure.
Here's what I'll say. Right or wrong, whether you think Paul is right or wrong. When I say, I think for the vast majority of your audience, if I say, hey, have you heard of this guitar builder, Paul? You're going to say, Reed Smith? And I'm going to be like, yeah, fucking Paul Reed Smith.
Right.
You can't say that for goddamn Fender or Gibson.
Yeah, name one Fender builder that's alive.
Well,
I know some of you can. You can name master builders and custom shop
someone's going to
builders
be
and
like Ron Thorne or something. But I the thing I appreciate Paul, right or wrong, is this is going to sound really.
I mean, to be fair, he started 40.
Sure,
50 years after Leo Fender.
Sure, well, it's
and not Orville Gibson was in the ground way before there was a Les Paul.
It's not about Les Paul or Orville Gibson or any of those guys, because I could say like Taylor Guitars, like I would say Andy Powers still functions as the face of Taylor Guitars in a lot of ways, and now of Powers Guitars, right? But I think to the vast majority of our audience, to the vast majority of people, Fender is a faceless corporation. Gibson is a semi-faceless corporation. And whether he's right or wrong, I always have to appreciate that, and this is where it's going to sound conceited, that Paul Reed Smith is doing what we do.
He's putting his putting his thoughts out there.
Yeah, he's forming an opinion that he has formed over many years. You said 40 years, or you said he came 40 years after Leo Fender. Yeah,
right.
Like
I spitballed that number. So.
I think he built his first guitar in the 70s, I want to say.
So 30 years.
So, but not he would have been, I guess, a contemporary with Leo Fender.
I guess.
Like he at the end of Leo Fender.
You think he ever met him?
I don't know. I think he met Ted McCarty.
If I ever get to talk to Paul again, I'll ask him if he ever met Leo Fender.
Actually, I'm like 100% sure he met Ted McCarty. I don't even know. I question that. But the point being that like Paul has formed his opinions over time, and he still represents his company as the face of the company, better or worse. Right. He's still doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no face of Fender. As far as I'm concerned, there's not really a face of Gibson.
If someone from Fender stood up in a video and was like, I believe in Tonewood, people would be like,
yeah, who the hell are you?
Who's that guy? Well, I work for Fender. So
yeah,
like even if you're the CEO or whatever, like it's not going to people aren't going to write blog posts and make videos about it. And,
if they will, it's just like you'll be confused about it.
If Mark Agnesi stood up and did a little piece on Tonewood or whatever, people would be like, whatever, it's like whatever Tonewood. But there's something about Paul Reed Smith that causes people to be like, well, actually, let's have a debate here.
I think if Mark did it, or if like Cesar I don't know, did it, like I don't really see those guys as the faces of Gibson. I know that Mark is marketing. I know Caesar's done a few things, right. But I still don't think of them as the face in the way, and it's not just because Paul Reed Smith is the namesake. Just like I said,
here's the thing. Every guitar that comes out of PRS is a Paul Reed Smith.
Sure.
Like they all have his personality baked into them.
We make the joke that every Les Paul is a signature model. But imagine if the entire brand has been designed by one guy.
Right.
And they all say his name. I guess we could say the same thing about Doug Cower. All of his guitars say Cower on
every PRS is made to tickle Paul's eye, is made the way that Paul wants guitars to be made. It is made the way that he thinks guitars should look like, and they're all made with him formulating thoughts and opinions about their construction and stuff like that. They're all Paul Reed Smith guitars. Like that's the reality of it. And that's part of the reason why his personality and him as an individual is so deeply baked into the identity of that company.
And so that's my parting thought. I appreciate that as a business owner in a space where the other big brands don't have a face, that he is still a face.
If Paul was here right now, he would disagree with what I just said just to do it. He'd be like, well, actually, Ryan, you see that this model and that model were actually heavily influenced by this designer and that designer. Like, I don't have my hand on everything.
I know.
Like, he would disagree just to disagree because that's Paul.
He'd point out, like, well, we have the David Grissom model.
I know.
And
what about Carlos Santana? Blah, 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 I don't know, Paul. I don't know. Whatever you say.
Ryan, what's your parting thoughts on this wood of tone?
Is there any nacho cheese left? That's my partying thought.
All right,
let's get back. Right. Let's get back to the food. You know?
Oh my gosh, I have not written down a single timestamp. This is gonna suck
Steve,
for me.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna write down this timestamp at 56 minutes and 50 seconds.
That's where the show begins.
This last ad was sent by Philip Lauer, a recent winner. This is a 1964
Will
Kent
he win again?
Model 744 electric mandolin, Mandola blonde, stunning. This is being sold by REFIN.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's an example one.
Dang it!
You're looking at the red one. Sorry, that was in...
This is a 1960s electric mandolin.
This is the one that you're supposed to be reading, Steve. Sorry. It's all out of order thanks to screen grab technology. All right.
1960s era Kent Model 744 electric mandolin with case, cord, leather strap, pick, various spare strings, and Mel Bay chord instruction book.
Hey.
That's a lot of extra. Oh, I was gonna say that's a lot of extra strings, but there's a lot of strings on this.
Yeah. This is your standard instrument starter pack from basically pre 1998. Everything came with a Mel Bay book and a ton of strings and like a leather strap and a weird chipboard case, you know. But this is a mandolin, and damn if it isn't sexy. This makes me want to play mandolin.
Speaking of TONEWOOD,
I got a major toner over here.
This is $425.
But it's down from $675, and it was listed 14 weeks ago.
I feel like this is like a walk, don't run, man. $425
because I got screen grabs of two that are on eBay.
Yeah, $550, no bids.
Yeah, buy it now for $800. No one's touching it.
$700.
13 watchers on a $700 one. It feels like these don't move very easily. This one from Rivington Guitars, the blonde one, which looks stunning, by the way. It's got this quilt on it.
Yeah.
And this really neat tort. The listing that I clicked on, the link that I clicked on said $1,000.
It's sold,
but it doesn't say any price on this listing here. So I don't know how accurate that is.
Right.
I don't know if that's like a special model because it has the different finish or whatever. Yeah, these look really cool to me, but they don't seem to be selling. So I wonder where the actual desirable price is for these. Like, is it sub $400? Is it sub $300? Like this is listed at $425.
I'm looking. There was one that looks like it sold on Reverb for $564.
So it's in the neighborhood.
It was in Canada. There's some,
but that's Canadian money.
No, it's converted. There's been a few.
Is Christian now?
There's a few other Kent electric mandolin models. Not this exact model.
I know, but this is the one I want to know about.
There's one that. No, that's a little different. I was gonna say there is one that sold for $250.
And here's the thing: there's other electric mandolins that you could buy. Like you could get an Eastwood for cheaper than this. Like there's Eastwood mandolins that are electric that probably are more playable in a modern way.
Sure,
but you can't argue with the mojo of these things.
Oh man! So there was one. I know. Upload. Oh, this was all. There's a lot of these in Canada.
Canadians love mandolins.
7 years ago, a Sunburst one sold for $256.
Wow. $256. If that was local, you couldn't stop me from buying it.
So yeah, I think you're right. Unfortunately, this could be under. This probably should be under $400. It's got all the case candy though. Man.
I know. He's got that Mel Bay book. He's got all the chords for mandolin.
This is bumming me out.
In picture and diagram form, and all those vintage strings, and a cool leather strap. But just the look of it. And I know Kent made guitars, in this style as well. Like Kent made a lot of cool stuff. The pickup looks cool. the headstock looks cool. Like the binding and everything. Like, it's just a rad looking piece. I don't even like Mandolin, and I'm drooling over this thing a little bit. But then, like, if you had told, when I saw this ad, if you had told me like, oh yeah, that's the going rate, this is actually a good deal, I've been like, oh really? Oh man, these are cool. But finding out that like they don't seem to move at this price point.
Yeah.
And if they do rarely, and maybe people are looking for very specific models or something like that. It feels a little bit surprising to me.
I kind of,
but it also feels a little bit encouraging. Like maybe I should keep an eye out for one of these.
I kind of wonder what they want, what they actually want for this.
What they actually want is
$675.
$675. 14 weeks ago is what they wanted.
Yeah.
14 weeks ago they needed that much money, and now they're like, $425 would take care of what I need to get done. You know, what if it just sucks? What if these just suck? Oh, we don't know anything about mandolins. I know they got 8 strings, which is too many. It's too many, right?
Yep. Ryan.
Yeah, Steve.
I think this is a tough week to pick a winner.
Well, we have this. We have that REFIN Strat.
Yeah.
We have the Violin.
We have the Violin.
I don't know. I was feeling the Strat.
You were feeling the Strat.
I was angry about it.
You were angry about it.
Yeah. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling the Mandolin.
All right. We're going to do it. We're going to spin this week. You do the honor, Steve. Let me make sure it's nice and loose. Let me get it primed up for you. We'll start.
Yeah. Primed up for me, huh?
We'll start right in the spin, right in the middle. Give it a good spin, Steve. You think that was a good spin?
No.
You feel proud of that?
I'm not, actually.
It's got some momentum to it. It's going.
To it. It's so wobbly. It needs like a ball bearing or something.
Hey man, this thing was like $20 on Amazon.
I know,
Give it a break.
I know. Just like
I'm surprised it even exists.
Just like on a bolt.
It's really going, Steve.
It was a good spin.
It's because the clicker is barely connecting.
Oh no!
Oh!
Yes!
What?
Go back! Go back!
Oh! There was drama that time. Jeez, that was exciting stuff.
Congratulations, Joey Scar. He won recently.
Did he?
He's winning again.
He's a big winner over there. All right, tell us about the song, Steve.
Sure. This song was sent by Ted Jackle. He says, "Hi, Ryan and Steve. I've been meaning to get something
when
sent in.
When are we going to get a song from Tom Dingo?
For a while now, seeing as I'm also doing a super soft launch of my incredibly casual YouTube channel, I figured now is probably a good time to do it. My channel is under Ted Jackle at Slant Guitars, and I've been less formally putting some stuff out under that handle on TikTok too. I'll put the link to your YouTube channel down in the description. The goal of the channel is to capture improvisations and impromptu songwriting jams and share some of the things I'm developing as I'm working on more full band recordings where I will be adding drums and bass. Anyway, I'm calling this one The Monument at Scoville and a Fresh Slice of Bread with Honey. The title is a bit of an ode to my teen years in the early to mid 90s, inspired by the sludgy tones that drove this improv signal chain. For anyone that cares, I really appreciate people who still send us the signal chain, because that was like one of the early premises of doing this was like, tell us what gear you used. Warmoth Parts Caster Telly with a Porter 9T bridge pickup. The pedal chain is an all Keeley chain with a 2-knob comp, blacktop fuzz, Katana, Echoes delay, Hydro plate reverb, delay and reverb running in stereo into a Princeton 65 reverb reissue with a 12-inch and a 57
upgrade.
Tweed 5F1 kit, an SM57 on the Princeton, and an old AKG D1000E on the 5F1, running through Focusrite Scarlett into the PC. No post mixing, as I'm still relatively new to recording and working things out. And I'm going to play the video, but also I could just play the YouTube. It's probably all the same. What are you looking at me like
I was waiting to hear what you're going to say. Thanks for sending that in, Ted.
My thought is there's a section in the middle that's very like Pearl Jammy.
Oh, totally.
And thinking about that as a whole, like this is the, I think there's and that's the point in what he prefaced with is like, this is kind of like a sit down and jam. So,
you guys can literally send in whatever you want. They don't have to be complete songs. They can be jams. They can be whatever you're working on. Like, thanks for sending it in.
And I think from that perspective, I'm really looking forward to like, he says he's going to add drums and bass to these ideas that he has. I'm looking forward to that.
Sure.
Because I think that there's a lot of parts where I'm going like, okay, it just seems like you're trying things out, but there's nothing about it that makes me feel like you don't know what you're doing. You're just trying to figure out where you want to go.
Sure.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it was good.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.